How to outsource the technical side of Rank and Rent. And what I mean by that, guys, is there's really two components to this beautiful business model. There's the sales side, there's acquiring the deal, getting the deal put in place, grabbing the credit card, putting the contract in place with the client. And then there's everything else. There's building the website, there's setting up the ads, there's doing the backlinks, doing the content, doing the on-page SEO, doing the GMB, and on and on and on and on. And there's two different types of people. To be honest, the majority of people would prefer to do the technical side, even if they don't know how to do the technical side, because in their minds, it's not as big of a threat. It's not as scary. You can hide behind a computer. So I find that there's far more people that are willing or that want to do the technical side, but there seems to be a growing number of people like myself that see this business model and they go, man, wouldn't it be really cool if I could just follow Nick's sales process, his 7-step sales process that he teaches inside of his program and his free group and everything else. I could go and acquire new clients, put them under my business, and I could have somebody to do the back end, do the technical work. Wouldn't that be this perfect scenario? And it really, really would be. And it's exactly what I did. So I want to talk about that on this video. So again, two types of people. I'm here to tell you right now that if you are looking at this and you don't know how to do sales and you don't know how to do the technical side, more people are going to gravitate towards, hey, let me learn the technical side. But the more valuable of the two is 100% the sales side. And if I use this example frequently, but if you don't believe me, go into a group, in a Rank and Rent group, or even a digital marketing group, and go in that group and say, hey, I'm looking for somebody. I've got these few deals. I need somebody to help me with the fulfillment. Can somebody help me with X, Y, and Z technical aspects? And you're going to get a laundry list of people. You're going to get 20, 30, 40, depending on the size of the group, comments or DMs saying, here's my portfolio, blah, 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 blah. Make the same post inside of these groups looking for somebody to say, hey, I'm really good at technical. Say, I need somebody to go and get the clients for me. I will give you 50% of the profit. You'll even put the price. And crickets. Why? Because the guy or gal that can do the sales understands that if they can do the sales, there's people lined up for days that are willing to do the technical. So if you're somebody that's brand new that wants to get into this model, you've listened to a podcast, you've listened to an interview, this sounds like something interesting to you, and you want to get in, but you're like, I don't know where to start. Start with the sales. Because if you're going to come into it anyway, it's going to take work and there's going to be a learning curve. Go and learn the thing that's going to have the highest return, that's going to be worth the highest amount. So just understand that there are those two types of people. So here's what I would recommend when doing this. It's completely possible, completely doable, but people always make the mistake of they get in and maybe they go and they secure a deal, they secure 2 deals and they go, well, I don't know. I think I'm just going to go and hire a company, or I'm going to go to Fiverr. I'm going to go to whatever website is. One of my favorite places to find talent is my buddy John Jonas has a company called onlinejobs.ph. Phenomenal service. I don't get any kickback. I've just used it. It's a good service. But they go to those sites and they go and they try to find somebody to do their work. And they're like, okay, they type in and they look for an SEO person. Okay, boom, I got an SEO person. And they look for somebody that's good at building websites. And maybe they want to build on WordPress. So they're like, okay, they're good at WordPress. Okay, cool. And they hire 2 people. Boom. And they say, okay, I need you to build these websites and I need you to rank them. And what happens inevitably every single time is they get frustrated because the person that they've hired doesn't know what to expect. They don't know the nuances of this business. They don't know where the phone number and the quote form should go and how the SEO should look. They don't know these things. And so it becomes this mess. And instead of buying back their time, they've created 2 jobs. They're managing the person and they're now doing the person's job. Here's how to do it correctly. What you need to do is, as much as you don't want to hear this, you need to learn the technical side enough that you can hang, enough that you know what you're doing, enough that if you had to, if it was an emergency and there was a deadline of 12 o'clock and a client was going to cancel, or you were going to land this huge deal and you couldn't find anyone, that you could do it. Even if it took you a long time, it was very painful, but you at least knew how to do it. You need to know it at least well enough to be able to teach it. So that's number 1. And I see a lot of people, they get in, they avoid that aspect. People on the reverse side do this with sales, right? They learn the technical, they never learn how to sell. And now they go and they find their buddy, they find somebody that says they're a salesperson, and what come to find out, they've worked at Payless or they've worked at GNC selling supplements, and that's not sales, sorry guys. And they go and they hire this person, nothing happens, they're frustrated, the person's frustrated, everybody's frustrated, and then they blame the business model model, say it doesn't work and they go chase drop shipping. It's the story of everyone's life in these businesses, okay? So learn it well enough that you can teach it and that you can oversee it, okay? Second thing that you need to do, and this is the thing that I did incorrectly, I did that part the first time correctly, is I was so worried about getting stuff done. I was so worried about, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta write the content, I gotta do the backlinks, I gotta call this, and instead of just being smart, I was doing. Here's what I should have done. What you should do is, as you're learning these things, as you're learning, okay, this is SEO, this is page titles, this is meta descriptions, all of these things, instead of just learning them, you should be documenting exactly how you're doing them. As you're learning, you document and create a process and a system for how to write content, for how to backlink, for how to choose an anchor text for your backlinks, all of these things. And yes, they're going to take more time than you just doing them. But guys, what you don't understand is, let's take a task that you're going to have to do every single time on a website. You're going to have to do something called page titles, which means the page title is the part when you go and you search concrete Las Vegas, the results underneath the maps, the text at the top, that's the page title. You have to do a page title. If you want to rank a website, you need to do a page title on every single website and every single page. So instead of doing, let's say it takes you 10 minutes per page, let's say it's this 5-page website, let's say 50 minutes per website times 10. Let's say you learn it the first time. Okay, great. The second time, instead of doing it, you document it and turn it into a system and process. And what I mean by that is create a PDF of exactly how to do it, and then create some videos, some recordings that explain exactly how to do it. Okay, maybe this time it takes you 3 hours to create that PDF and to do those videos, but you just saved yourself 50 minutes in continuity. You've saved yourself 50 minutes every single website forever. And I know some of you guys are going, well, duh, this makes total sense. I've been doing this for years. Great, you're smarter than me. This didn't click to me. Take the time to document it. Take the time to create a process and a system that you could take a human body, give them the document and say, I need you to do page titles. I need you to watch this document. And I need you to go do this. And then we're going to talk and I'm going to correct you the things that you did wrong. Boom, done. Learn it, document, and systematize. And then third is go and find a virtual assistant to start doing that task. That's it. That's the whole process. So if it's content, you learn how to write content. For me, I wrote my first 200,000 plus words of content. And so I knew how to do it well enough. I did not for years document it. So guess what would happen? Every single time we hired a content writer, I would have to go and I'm like, okay, today I'm going to take a half a day and I'm going to train you on content. I'm going to do a Zoom call. And imagine all I would have had to do is even just recording those calls would have made so much sense. But you know what? Some of us don't learn that quick. So guys, these are the 3 steps. Again, as far as virtual assistants, highly recommend John Jonas's platform called onlinejobs.ph. There's a way to hire correctly. There's a way not to hire correctly. I've actually interviewed him multiple times inside of my Digital Landlords program. So if you're somebody that is watching this in my program, go and look in the bonus content and you're going to see that interview on how to hire, incentivize, and train virtual assistants. But for those of you that are getting into this model and you just want to close deals, you want to have your cell phone and your laptop, and you want to be on the phone, closing deals, having conversations, shaking hands, kissing babies, just doing deals and having everything else taken care of. This is the process, and you do it for each task. You start outsourcing all of these tasks. Eventually, okay, this is a lot to manage. Now you hire a project manager. You have the project manager learn everything. Now the project manager is managing the VAs. And eventually you do this exact same thing on the sales side, but we'll get into that in future videos, guys. This is how you outsource the technical side of rank and rent. For those of us that love deals, for those of us that love sales, for those of us that love just making moves, and we don't necessarily love the nitty gritty behind all of the technical side, but we love money and we love building and we love creating and we love building our empire. This is how you do it. You outsource the technical side. You focus on the thing that drives the engine. You focus on moving the needle, and that is through the sales. This is how you do it properly from somebody that's done it incorrectly and then has done it correctly the second time around. I'm out.